morning, everybody. Welcome back to the garage. Well, today we're going to be doing a couple of different little things out in the garage today, but I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about something important. So this morning I was watching one of my favorite television shows, Graveyard Cars. I don't know if any of y'all have ever watched it, but I enjoy watching it. And on this particular episode, they had a car on there that had been burned, and a fellow was telling the story about how the car got burned and what happened. And
about 7 o'clock, and we went in there, and one of the cars had leaked gas all day long, and the dripping gas had vaporized, and there was only a small puddle on the floor, but the air was filled with gas.
You know, he had a two-car garage just like most of us have, and he had two old classic cars in there, and he was working on one of them or something, and anyhow he has a big fuel leak under the car. And so he comes in from work or what have you, and there's fuel all over the floor of the garage, and the place is just full of fumes.
And started opening doors and windows, probably as most people would do, to air out the gas fumes. And there was a spark.
And he makes the mistake of opening the garage doors. And like 99.9% of us, we probably had an electric garage door opener. Reaches up there and hits the button, and man, the place explodes.
And the spark caused an explosion. It blew all the doors and windows off the building. It blew the garage door across the street to the neighbor's fence.
Blows both doors off the building, burns his friend, blows his friend out, injures him some too. And he says this statement when talking about the fire.
That there were paint cans. The paint cans were exploding in the air, and it was just a big ball of fire. Yeah.
He said, and then the paint cans started to explode. So it was bad enough that he had this fuel leak and this big explosion and a fire, but then all of the bombs that he had stored in his garage starts to explode on top of it. And listen, it was horrific, all right? I mean, burned his garage up, burned his house up. Fire department got there and got, saved most of the structure, it looked like. But
actually, one of very few people that survive an explosion. I was fortunate to get out of the structure.
So that prompted me to want to do this video, because it's easy to get complacent with things that we handle every day. And I can tell you that, as a rule, I don't keep certain things in my garage. And when I say don't keep, I mean I don't store them out here. They don't live in my garage. You have to bring them in and use them for whatever you're going to be doing, and then I take them out of here and they live somewhere else. Because my garage is where, if there's anywhere on my property where I'm going to be throwing sparks and welding and grinding and creating an environment where something could ignite, it's in here. So let's talk about some things that, me personally, I never keep in my garage, and I want to recommend to you that you don't keep them in your garage either. All right, so let's look at a few things here. These fellows right here. This is some of the most dangerous material that we handle every day nearly in our lives. I don't know of anybody who doesn't have, a jug of gas for their lawnmower, or in this case, my weed eater, my blower, my chainsaws. I got a little 1 gallon thing of mixed. I got a 2 gallon thing of non-mixed for my lawnmowers and stuff. And don't ever keep this in your garage. Bring it in, fill up whatever it is you got to fill up, and then get it back outside. Now, I've got a little metal building out beside my garage that I keep all this stuff in. That's where it lives. It's out there. In fact, I do most of my fueling and refueling and things like that out there. All right, gasoline, get it out of your garage. Paint. If you're a car guy or whatever, like I am, and you do some of your own body work, you probably will have some primer, you have some paint, you have some clear coat. And this is clear, all right? And so it's right on it right here. Danger, extremely flammable, liquid and vapor. I'm not keeping this in my garage. This lives outside. Lantern fuel, camp fuel. Guys, this is gasoline. Just like what you pour into your lawnmower or whatever in your chainsaw with oil mixed in it, gasoline. Don't keep this in your garage. get it out. Put it out there in another location. Paint thinner, acetone in this case, lacquer thinner, MEK, anything like that you may, toluene, any of that stuff that you may get from Lowe's or Home Depot, or Ace Hardware, and you don't think that much about it, but hey, they put these warning things on here for a reason. Look here. Danger, extremely flammable vapors may cause flash fire or ignite explosively. I don't keep this in my garage. Get it out. This little fella right here, paint, primer, things like that. The only time I keep a little can of this around is if I'm actually using it. It may sit on my workbench for a day or two, but I don't store this stuff in my garage. It's got a home out there. Don't keep it in your garage. Something else also is like WD-40, maybe that little can of liquid wrench. I'll keep the can on my workbench that I use regularly, but I don't keep a case of it out here. I don't keep several cans. This ain't where I store it. All this kind of stuff, spray cans, because just the propellant that's in here is usually flammable. Let's see what this can says. Danger, extremely flammable. Vapors may cause flash fires. Contents under pressure. It's a little bomb in your garage. You get some sort of fire or whatever going on out here, this thing's going to blow up. All right, so things like a lantern, for instance. This has got gasoline in it. And the only time it's in this building is when I've got it on my workbench for a particular reason. I'm getting it going to take camping or something. You may see it sitting on the workbench occasionally in a video, but I'm going to tell you that out of 365 days out of the year, probably 363 it's living outside. Or, if you really need to keep it in here, or you want to keep it in the house, take the gas out of it. Just take that lid off, put your funnel back in your fuel can, pour it back in there, and get the can outside and put this inside, if that's what you're going to do. All right, last but not least, right here. I think probably all you guys and gals who watch my videos have a gas grill. It's become like the kitchen stove anymore. And some of you may have a spare tank. So I keep a spare tank. I've got the one on the grill and I got another one. I just swap them out and I take both of them and get them filled up. It's just something I do. But this baby here, man, is like having a 20-pound bomb in your garage. And I don't keep this in there, man. You get a big fire going, some sort of accident, this thing's going to explode. I mean, it'd take the roof off the place. So don't keep your spare tank, if you have one, in your garage. So those are some of the items that do not live in my garage. This is an environment, like I said earlier, where I create a lot of sparks, I weld, I grind. There's always something going on out here that could ignite something. All right, so at the end of this video, the most important thing that I think I need to share with you is, like in that gentleman's case, he had a fuel leak. And if you're out here working, or this is where you park your cars, they're full of gas, and something can happen and you can get a fuel leak on the floor of your garage. And if you ever get any kind of big fuel leak and you open that door up and you get hit with the fumes of gasoline, back out of there very slowly and ease that door closed. And you get out of that house, out of that garage, and you call 911. They're the experts. You call them. They know how to come into your home and get those fumes out. Don't think, I'm going to open up the windows and doors, because you can create a spark inadvertently, like that gentleman did, and kill yourself. Okay? Don't do it. Call 911. Let the pros take care of it. Hey, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was just a safety lecture, but I think it's easy for us to get complacent with the things we handle every day, and it's easy to just set that can of paint thinner down and leave it out here for a month or two. Don't do that. So, hey, I hope you learned something, and come back for the next video.